They asked me, what's your definition of success? I was always thinking what that was. And I was at a Chinese restaurant with my daughter, and I remember she would open my fortune cookies all the time and read it. And the fortune cookie that she read was a quote that said, "The road to success is always under construction." And I said, there it is. That's the answer. You're always building and improving upon, and it's a moving target at all times. Geez, I had so many jobs growing up as a kid. I mean, I started off as a paper route at the early age of like 7 or 8 years old. And then it turned into McDonald's, Pizza Hut. I was a waiter, pumped gas at a local gas station. But I did all kinds of different things like that. But one of the things that it gave me a lot of experience was customer service. One of the things that really stuck out to me is working at Ellis Hospital, and where I actually had to go in, work in maintenance, and then I worked in the incinerator room where we'd have to burn trash, and it was all the different jobs that we did. But it allowed me to get the finances and the money that I needed to provide a college education for myself. Growing up as a kid, I always had people ask, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I always wanted to be a state trooper. From a young kid, just watching police officers drive up and down the streets of Schenectady. They always were helping people, and I always wanted to be able to do that. And that's one of the reasons why I felt I had to go to college, because in order to be a state trooper, you needed to get a degree. And then I found a position, an RA position, was a residential assistant. And they paid for my board, and that's what allowed me to go and get my 4-year degree. When I was at Oneonta State, it was great that they covered my room and board, but you still needed money for other things, tuition and just your everyday expense. So every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday mornings, I worked at a place called Cathedral Farms. It was a restaurant, bar, and all my friends were out partying and having a great time. What I learned from that is, again, so many different facets of running a business. The customer service was just great at these different establishments that I worked at. And I ended up getting a business economics degree, and I thought that was something that I learned a ton of information on just in business as a whole. And it was great. And I ended up sitting for the state trooper exam, passed it with flying colors. But there was a wait. I had to wait about 6 months in order to get a position in the next academy. So I ended up applying for some different jobs. I applied for a job in insurance with Prudential Financial Services. And I had made more money in that first, say, 7 months of being with Prudential than I would have a whole year as a state trooper. So my whole state trooper dreams went down the drain. And I really love the sales aspect. I love working with people, and I love the fact of being able to build a business. And at that point, I really felt there's a big difference between an entrepreneur mindset and an employee mindset. And I really felt I really wanted to go towards that entrepreneur and opening a business. So in 1995, I ended up getting an opportunity to open up an Allstate franchise. And it was a difference because I had to take a big step back. I was making a lot of money at Prudential as a manager, and then had to go back to being an actual agent. So the first couple of years were pretty tough. And I ended up getting myself in about $125,000 in debt in the first 3 years. Even though we were hitting all kinds of awards and we were selling all kinds of beating records, the residual wasn't there yet. And for those of you who know how insurance works, it's all about renewals and residuals. So I ended up finding a part-time job. I had an agent that came into the office that was a customer, and she said, "I think you'd be a great real estate agent." And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Well, let me take a look at that." And when I saw the commissions that they were making versus what I was making on the insurance, I said, I got to check that career out for sure. Getting into real estate actually provided me with the resources to actually improve my insurance business, but also get out of that debt. And very quickly, I was hooked. I mean, the first year in real estate, I did 13 sales, and I did 53 sales the next year, then 77 sales the next year, to the point where I really just loved the real estate side of things. It was something that I really attracted to because it was helping people, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing. But it was a real struggle in the beginning, and especially having a young family, and my wife was working part-time at the time. But we pushed through, and again, with the entrepreneur side of me, I just knew that the harder I worked, the better that things would get in the future. So a lot of people ask me, how'd you get started in real estate? How did you become so successful starting off? And I was so fortunate to find a great mentor when I first started. I paid into coaching programs, I got mentors, because success leaves clues. And so many people that I would talk to, I would always look for who was number one. I would always look for someone that was doing what I wanted to do. And by interviewing them, they were able to give me a lot of great information, not only here locally, but also across the country. As a result of that, I ended up getting my own office called Miranda Real Estate Group, That was started back in 2002 with just myself and 4 other agents. What we did is that we started to really implement a lot of different things that I picked up from this coaching program. We started doing different things here in the community, direct response marketing. We started doing a lot of referral-based marketing. And little by little, it was just kind of organic. This is how we grew. So as we grew the business and going into 2009, we became the #1 team in the Capital District. And that was a huge honor there. It was at that point where I decided I wanted to help agents build their business within our business. And that's where I switched to more of a broker model than a team model. And in 2009, we started doing that. I also started doing a lot of coaching and training across the country with other agents. And little by little, we built our business to where we're now the #1 independent office here in the Capital District. I think one of the things that made us different early on is that we had a guarantee sale program where if someone bought a home with us, we would buy theirs for cash. We also had a free moving truck that we provided. We were also giving a lot of different incentives for reports, like a lot of buyers and sellers. How to attract that is by educating them. And we would give free books. I wrote 4 different books on real estate and insurance. By putting it out there and letting them know that was an available resource to them, we were able to attract a lot of clients that way. Because we really believe that an educated client is the best client. So this year we hit our 20-year anniversary. And it's great because I'm taking a look back at all the numbers, and our team has sold over 12,000 homes, well over $2 billion in real estate sales. We have 92 agents in our company. We have 3 locations here in the Capital District, but we also just announced 2 locations in Florida. So we're in Naples, Florida, and also in Sarasota, Florida. But the most important thing I feel is that we've developed a very good and strong culture, a community amongst the agents. And it's something that I really enjoy doing each and every day, getting up, love my job, and being able to help agents grow their business and take their business to the next level. You know, over the last 20 years, I've been so fortunate with all mentors I've had and great friends and family members that have supported me. But, you know, now it's my opportunity to be able to give back. And we've been doing that with our Miranda Real Estate Group. We've been doing it with coaching. We started Miranda Charity Group a few years back, where we donate money to the Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center, also to the Ronald McDonald House. And it's something that each and every year just keeps growing. And again, the community gets together, we're able to give back, and it's something that we're going to continue to do for many years. Moving forward, we want to grow with really great agents. We want agents to build their business within our business, like I mentioned before, but we want the right agents. We don't hire everyone. We want agents that really want to grow. They're engaged in the training that we do, they're engaged with our support, and they really truly want to help other people. So with all the experience I gained over the years, educating clients, now we're starting to put that energy into educating agents, not only nationally now, but also here in my local market. And that's something that I really feel passionate about, because I feel that with the real estate community definitely supersedes competition. And I think if we have all agents that are doing business the right way, it'll just make it a better transaction for all of us in the future, and we'll be able to take care of our clients even better.